thing, isn't it? Like,
Are we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good morning to those of you in the United Kingdom like myself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, depending on where else you guys are stationed in this world. Hope everyone's well and safe. Hope everyone's had a good week to remember, crushing their goals, hopes, dreams, and admirations, and ambitions and all of these sort of things. Hope you're all in good health and all of those sort of things. So yeah, man. Big up the DG Nation. Good morning to you lot. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you're following and subscribed on Twitch. Last bit of content from me today will be at 4 p.m. I'll be live streaming Football Manager, and you lot, it's always a nice one. So yeah, I hope you lot are all well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I'm feeling a bit jealous because the Newcastle have got a new owner, and we'll kind of touch on Arsenal's we won't touch on what it means for Arsenal, but Arsenal might, depending on what you read by it, the Qatari people might be involved again. Just a bit of humor. Aaron Ramsdale's been speaking. Personally, I think the way Aaron Ramsdale has spoken about Leno and the way Leno spoke about Ramsdale, for me, I might be reading too much into it, but for me personally, I think it speaks volumes of the class between the two and how they view each other. Guendouzi's taken a little swipe at the club. We've been linked with players that we're always linked with again. So yeah, man, and any questions and whatnot, you lot got, bring them in and whatnot. You lot make it for what it is. But yeah, that's all we've got to speak about today, really. So yeah, greetings to everyone. I hope everyone's well and safe. One love to everybody in the live chat and things like that. Again, without you lot, this doesn't mean anything. Dan, I appreciate you. I appreciate you as well, AK98, because you lot was obviously locked on Twitch at 10 a.m. for the first bit of content. Obviously, make sure you follow me on Twitch. People that follow me on Apple and Spotify, DG podcast episodes should actually be out now. So have a look out for that one as well. I uploaded it just before I came on here, people. In fact, I have. I actually have. So yeah, man, go and take that in. Let me be a bit shameless and sorry, people, put that on my Instagram and Snapchat. Follow me on Snapchat as well. Gooner04 people. 04. 04. Best way to pull it as well. And Instagram. Sorry, folks. Put that on my Insta. Now my Snap. Let the folks them know it's out. Content king and all of those sort of things. CeeLo, appreciate you as well. Nice to see everyone's in good spirits. Nice to see everyone's in good health and things like that, because that's all we can have. And I know Arsenal turned around their form of recent and took away 10 points from potential 12, but as much as I miss Arsenal, it is almost better when we don't play, because there's none of them talking points and whatnot if we lose, man. Big up P Mav and obviously CS and Omar as well, the usual suspects. One love to the members, moderators, subscribers, and everyone. So yeah, let's kick off first things first. Where's the timestamps? Again, there's not a single YouTuber who cares about you lot as much as me. So let's go with Qatari money. Let's go from 354 to 354 to whenever. Now, for what it's worth, Arsenal fans, you're going to be a bit disappointed if you're expecting Arsenal to have any imminent takeover. Kroenke's here to stay. The Daniel Ek thing, we will get light at the end of the tunnel. I feel Stan Kroenke will sell one day, but at the same time, he's a stubborn man. Arsenal is used to leverage his other interests. I personally think it's going to be a family heirloom that's going to be passed down. So I don't know how much there is light at the end of the tunnel with Josh Kroenke and things like that. But there's always going to be pressure. We saw Daniel Ek at the London derby. Things aren't going to change anytime soon, so it's neither here nor there. But obviously, when you see Newcastle and you consider the backdrop of what they could do in a couple of years if they get it right, it scares you, because obviously they deserve it. They've got an owner who cares. And I know there's FFP and things, but they deserve it. Arsenal have been stagnating, so they're being left behind. Obviously, we haven't finished in the top 4 in a while. We haven't finished in the top 6 in a while. So I don't know how long we can claim on to have that. For me as an Arsenal fan, I've never agreed with all this Spurs are ahead of us and all this tosh, because what have they done? Where are they? Their best ever time, their best ever period culminated in the Champions League final. And, like us in the Champions League final, got fucking nothing to show for it. But at the same time, you've got to consider what Spurs have been doing, I look at historically Leicester, Wolves, these sort of teams. Leeds are coming up as well. Teams that are looking to break into that, qualifying for Europe and above that. You obviously see what West Ham have started off this season and what they've been doing last year. So these are the sort of things we've got to compete with. Like he's saying as well, I don't think Stan Kroenke will sell Arsenal. So we're in a bit of a tough situation, but we can dream. You know, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, and I think this Twitter account in particular, you know, like my man LT Arsenal said, stop selling Arsenal fans hope. But you know, at Qatari said we need Arsenal after Newcastle, and I mean, you know, imagine Arsenal with Qatari money. I've said it before. I don't care if it's Russian money, Qatari money, you know, Nigerian money, Swedish money. You know, just show us the money. Again, I don't think we're gonna spend portions and portions and millions and millions and millions of things, but just to know when there's things like we need a midfielder, to just know that the owner will make sure that the owner will make sure the manager has the funds and make sure the people are in place to make sure things are done. Like Newcastle, you know, as much as I think Newcastle are going to sign some world-class players eventually, immediately they need to find players that can keep them in the league because they're 19th, players that can help them qualify for mid-table finishes consistently and kick on to the European places. Obviously, once you show you can kick on in European places, you can then start talking about league title and things. And the thing is with Arsenal, obviously, right now, it's with 4 games, it's been somewhat decent. I think if you're talking about getting rid of the Kroenkes and this guy out and that guy out, you're seen as negative. It's only when if Arsenal was to cock up the next 4 games that everyone wants to have a real big conversation and dialogue over what the manager is or isn't doing, over Edu's credentials, and crucially, Stan Kroenke. And I do feel, you know, it could have even been the best time at the Emirates and whatnot. You know, the Arteta has spoken about the atmosphere being electrifying at the Emirates. And it's true. It's been, you know, they look like with, you know, big support against Chelsea at home, big support in the away games against Burnley and Brighton, you know, actually City as well on that regards, big support at the Emirates in the North London derby. And obviously the last game that's just gone once again against Brighton. But that could have been the best time to keep making our message known that it's Arsenal Football Club. We don't stand with Stan Kroenke. Fair enough. You know, 100 odd million's been spent. You could say Kroenke's made that available. Edu and Arteta so far have justified. The jury's still out because, again, before these 4 games, we were saying we spent 100 million. We can't see how the squad significantly improved. Now we're saying we still see building blocks. I don't know how that's going to carry on, but I mean, we need Qatari money. We just need people that hope. And I think for Arsenal fans, if you don't already, you need to get with it, man. You know, do I want to be a checkbook club, a sugar daddy club? Of course, I would like to do it the Arsenal way, the way Wenger said it, but that way is gone. It's naive to assume that we can do that as a football club, really. We need to get with the times. We can't do moral police. Like I always say, if you're going to do moral police, then you need to look at the food you're bringing into your house, whether it's fish or meat. You need to look at your damn iPhone. You need to look at a lot of the consumer goods that us living in a first world country have the privilege of buying, because there's morals. A lot of people will criticize Newcastle for morals, but then they will look to the Visit Rwanda shirt badge on the Arsenal slogan. You know, and there's some clubs that do the thing where, you know, there's obviously sweatshops and things. So if we're going to do morality police, everyone's a hypocrite. Again, I'm not condoning murder, human rights violations and all of them, nor am I comparing that to buying a fake tea or whatever. But at the same time, if we're going to do moral police, you know, and I think there's a certain sort of irony doing it from smartphones. It is what it is. It's adapt or survive. This is the game. You know, I don't know when the football bubble will burst. It doesn't. Every time we think it's close, it doesn't look soon. And we're already in an unhealthy place with transfers and things. So we might as well get with it. Reality is, none of this is my peas. Reality is, FFP isn't going to do a damn thing. There's ways around it. Newcastle, a lot of people are saying FFP is going to harm them, in which I do think it is. They need to raise their commercial outlook, which you'll obviously, as a result of them getting bought, they're obviously going to have rising fan base and support in the Middle East. But there's ways around these things. There's ways around it. So you have to adapt or survive. And, you know, it's like low profile. I said Qatari just fishing, man. Arsenal fan base, the biggest on Twitter. They will always bite. You know, the guy's an absolute attention seeker, but that's where Arsenal to Qatar is concerned, folks. Or better yet, Qatari money. But we need it. Any sort of money that can come into this club, bring it, come, man. Simple as that. Bring it, come, man. Like I said, it can be oil money, family heirloom money. I don't give a crap now, man. You know, I don't give a crap. You know, you said adapt or survive. And people are bringing weapons to normal punch up. So are we going to grab a knife or a gun, or are we going to keep talking about, no one's fighting with their fists? Adapt or survive. Adapt to survive. Adapt or die is what I would say, man. Morning, DG. One thing I would say is Arab people love competition between themselves. It's an ego thing. So don't be surprised if Qatar come in now. The Saudis are here. They might not, they might not come in for Arsenal. But I mean, because you look at how much did the Crystal Palace owners want to hold on to their club? How long did the West Ham owners want to hold on to their club? Really and truly, I think Arsenal and Spurs. I don't see Kroenke leaving. Everyone has a price, but I can't see Lewis and Levy leaving. But you'd imagine some of the Middle Eastern teams have a look at what's going on in London, and I would love it to be Arsenal. I don't know what a Spurs is, but yeah, man. United and Arsenal are in trouble. The whole league's in trouble, bro. And it's good for the competitive nature of the league. I'm not in trouble, really, because I'd rather Newcastle win the league than United, Liverpool, Chelsea, etc. People that actually know and have rivalries for it. Goes without saying Spurs, but they've never did it. Spurs have finished, third in a 2-horse race. Says it all. I'm loving the Spurs digs right now, aren't I? So I wouldn't say we're in trouble. If Arsenal can't win the league, I got no beef with no Newcastle fans. So I wouldn't mind that. I don't need Chelsea increasing further daylight in terms of silverware between the two clubs and the major honours. I don't need Man United doing the same, even though there's a gulf between the two. I don't need Liverpool winning more league titles. I know we're rivals with these lot, and allegedly, and obviously, I know people that support these clubs. I don't want to see them gloating in my face. I know a couple Newcastle fans, in fact, but they're pretty humble, and I'd rather them win it than these lot, man. Same way, if anyone's got to win it, I don't mind City winning the Premier League, because again, I know City fans, but it's forced like that. The rivalry's not really there, man. Really and truly. How long would it take Newcastle to surpass Spurs? Boy, win a trophy. It's done, innit? Like, on a serious note, like I said, you got to remember they're 19th. They could very well, you've got to consider the reality. Imagine they get relegated. You could buy all these guys in the world. If you're in the championship, it means F all. So right now, they need to find stability. They need to focus on, like I keep saying, they need to, for it to really happen, you need to obviously, first things first, evolve off the field. So big up to everyone who was on Twitch, but we spoke about Newcastle and what their owner has said. They need to review what they're doing from a commercial standpoint. That obviously unloosens the purse strings in terms of FFP, bro. You're not listening to me, G1. Again, City's calm with that. See, I'd rather City do that than you, man, win stuff. City do that. Like I said, I know 1-2 City fans, but it's forced. I don't mind that. You could, I know it's burning you, but it's cool. I've accepted Arsenal got lapped. I'd rather them. I don't need United adding to it. I don't need Liverpool. I don't need Chelsea. Therefore, I don't need Spurs. This is where there's actual rivalries there. The City thing is forced, bro. Like, it's not, well, if Arsenal can't win it, why would I want you lot to win it ahead of City? Like, why? Realistically, why? Why would I want Man United to win it ahead of Liverpool or anyone? Why would I want any of them to win it? Like, don't get it twisted. I ain't no City fan, but why would I want that? Logically, like, come on now, think logically. But as I was saying, when Newcastle's concerned, people, they've spoken about commercialism. The more you can do commercialism, whether that's, they've been linked with Coutinho, whether that's bringing in a flagship player, whether that's, whatever, they need to improve that, because that's going to help them in the long term. They need to focus on stability, staying in the league, finishing in the top half of the league, top 6, top 10 first, showing you can do bits there, challenging for top 6/top 4, then obviously long-term the league. So this is probably a 4-year process. But again, you need to revamp the processes off the field, Again, the owners kind of said they're not going to go out there and buy Mbappe and Haaland and all of these things. So what can you do? You can look towards France. You look at what not City, Leicester have done. They've been smart in their recruitment in years. Maddison, he might not be setting off the world a lot, but they're going to make a pretty penny on that. They brought in a Fofana, they brought in a Siyunchi. You look at that Newcastle squad. I know they said they've got a good squad, but it's tired, really. St. Maximin quality, big up Joe Willett. I don't really rate Almarignon. I don't really rate Bear Man at Newcastle, really and truly. So they need to get some, what I call real Premier League players, people that, while St. Maximin is the talisman and all those things, people that are kind of on that sort of level as well, if it makes sense. So it is what it is, people. So yeah, man. And like I said, that's only going to come if you get the right recruitment. And the right recruitment players is one thing. To sign the right players, you need to have people that can find the right players. Again, the scouting, director of football, all of these sort of things is what's going to have to pattern up. So it's one of them. Squad is meaty, bro. Like, the squad is meaty. City yet to rise to Champions League. Neither are we, bro. We got robbed by UEFA Lona. Relegation for Newcastle at this point would mean a thing. You see what Wolves did in the Championship with little money and the Nuno Mendes link. And obviously, that's it. The minute Newcastle get into bed with them sort of agents and whatnot, that's even another angle. The minute they get into bed with them sort of agents there, it's a wrap. That's the sort of thing they need to be on. Even with Wolves, I would say Wolves are still targeting Europe and things like that, but it seems like it's hit a bit of a blip with the new owner and obviously Nuno moving away. I'm happy for Newcastle. They're pretty much my second team, if you want to call them that. I only got one team, but shout out to Crystal Palace and that. That's why I said Newcastle can still get relegated. So the priority is keeping them in the league, probably bringing in a manager. Maybe Sam Allardyce returns that can keep them in the league temporarily right now. They clearly need to have some business in January, and that's where the chairman and that have to prove their worth to the fans, because they had a woeful summer. They brought in Joe Willock. I swear that was it, really. And Newcastle need a lot more than that. Joe Willock's juice has run out, if that makes sense. And again, even though we don't have Champions League, I'd rather City win the Champions League ahead of United, Liverpool, and Chelsea, teams that have done it, teams that there's quote unquote rivalries for. I know the City rivalries there, but it's like I find it's not that we haven't got it, but it's forced. Like, I've grown up with you, like, no disrespect to City, but like things change, but it's a forced thing. You man beat us, you beat us. It genuinely pains me if we lose to United, if we lose to City, if we lose to Chelsea, beyond giving them their props because of the banter I've grown up with and things. So even if they win that, 40 points are enough to stay in the league again. Until you see your name with 40 points, your reality is you need to focus on grabbing those 40 points, true or false. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. If I was them, I'm employing Luis Campos, probably. You got you lot. My boy Joe Willett must be on a madness now, as long as they keep him. Boy, they knew. They must have known. He must have known something. Do you rate Steve Bruce? Some might say he did well just keeping them up. Do you know what? He's not as bad a manager as people make out, but he's got to keep it moving, man. Newcastle need the Kajarukin, the Brazilian plug, bro. We got some good players for them. They need to go buy Lacazette, Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, all these guys, man. Just, bid for Xhaka, do something, man. It'd be interesting to see who the manager's on, because my money's on, you could see, I'd probably say Lampard, Gerrard, Conte. These guys are going to be linked with them, and probably some other names as well. I would love Jose Mourinho to make a return to Newcastle, just because football needs a villain, man. Premier League needs a villain, and I don't see it happening, but I think he'd be the perfect villain, really and truly. Kolasinac for free. They're going to have to give what was Conte's last contract, like 14 million a year or something. They're going to need to give him more than that. And apparently these men are on buying what's his face? What's their names as well? Inter Milan. So it clearly looks like the Saudi-based footballing club, Saudi-based investment fund are targeting investment in footballing clubs. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's bravado. Maybe they just want to invest in that. Maybe it's strategic in terms of improving the the footballing level of people in Saudi Arabia, because you've seen a lot of Chinese, I don't know about now, but China, when they were doing their Super League thing, you saw the Prime Minister, the mandate was football. So I don't know if anybody saw it. You saw a lot of Chinese players go into the B teams of like Villarreal and things like that to learn and stuff, and they were sending their coaches, and coaches from Europe were sent to China, and commercial other avenues were exploited. And I wonder if that opens up the door for Saudi Arabia to do stuff in the same way. You can imagine Qatar must have done some, or the Qataris must have done something similar, where PSG and obviously Manchester City are concerned. The Saudis are going to flex and bring Sir Alex Ferguson out of his retirement, boy. And with Sir Alex Ferguson, he's going to bring through paid officials as well. If Sir Alex Ferguson was a movie, if it was like American Gangster, and the end when Frank Lucas starts snitching about all the officers, I genuinely think that could be Sir Alex Ferguson. Yeah, I paid that ref, that ref shagged Arsenal, that guy. That's what's going to happen, man, if I'm honest with you. I don't think he's going to go, but I just want it to happen because it's a villain. And I mean, for Conte, it'd be good, realistically, let's talk about the payday. Players can go Newcastle, get a payday, because realistically, I know Newcastle, you got heritage and things, but City, to get to the point where people say City are Premier League champions and Pep Guardiola, man, had to just come for money, bro. City have come a long way. Certain man signed for City and thought they signed for the red half of Manchester. They had to increase their footprint and all of these things within football. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards for them. But it's an interesting one. And I'm keen to see what happens, really. You know, if Arsenal can't do a damn thing and City and Newcastle just win the league and Champions League for the next couple of years, I won't say I'm happy, but I'll accept it, really and truly. But yeah, let's get into Aaron Ramsdale, people. You know, Aaron Ramsdale, every time he speaks, he becomes more and more likable. And as I said at the start of this live stream, I don't want to, get 2 and 2 and get 25. But for me personally, I think the way Aaron Ramsdale spoken about Leno, and when Leno had the chance to speak about Ramsdale, and he kind of wasn't dropping his name and referring to him like he's a bit of he's beneath him. He's beneath him. I think it sums up everything. If I'm honest with you, um, and I just think let's just get into Ramsdale. And I like Ramsdale's self-confidence. And it's that self-confidence, if you don't believe in yourself, no one can believe in yourself. Now, there's still going to be trials and tribulations for Ramsdale. He's 23. There's going to be moments of shaky moments at Arsenal and for country. But one thing I like about self-belief is no one can believe in you until you believe in yourself. Many people would have said, how is Arsenal buying a relegation goalie and all these things? And I think the propaganda from Arsenal fans is a bit too much. The question marks are still there. He does do some shaky things. But if he didn't somewhat believe in himself, man wouldn't be able to say statements like Sheffer said here, Ramsdale proved me wrong. He knew that you lot were quote unquote wrong somewhat about his ability. Now people believe in him. Self-belief is everything. And I always say it, one thing I like about him is obviously his competence, his consistency, but I always say confidence. It's easy to be confident when all the fans are with you, when everything's going well. When everybody turns on you and you start to not believe in yourself, that's where you see self-confidence. It's like Jadon Sancho. I know he's got extreme self-confidence. He backed himself to leave City, backed himself to go to City, backed himself to fuck off to Germany, backed himself to sign for the biggest club in England, in United. You look at him, nothing's going right for him. It's not happened. Certain people are doubting him and stuff like that. That sort of self-belief will see you through. It's that internal self-belief. I always talk about Saka, Smith Road, the honeymoon periods and whatnot. Greenwood the same. Last season he had a bit of a honeymoon period. You've got to believe in yourself before fans. Fans are fickle, if I'm honest with you. It's subjective. Certain fans live by game to game. For what it's worth, though, Arsenal's goalkeeper says he has the self-confidence and aspiration to become England number one, as you should. As you know, he's yet to win a full international cap, but however was recalled for England's World Cup qualifier against Andorra and Hungary. And the 23-year-old obviously joined Arsenal in August from Sheffield United and has gone on to replace Leno so far as number one. Shout out to the Jamaican international, Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale says he has the self-belief to become England's first-choice goalkeeper, but knows he first has to find a way to break into the team. I believe so. I don't really think Southgate rates you too tough. I do think you've gone up in his estimation since you've gone to Arsenal, but he didn't really want to take you Euros. People got injured. He didn't call you up when, things are, when everybody's fit. He's kind of spoken about Pope regaining his rhythm. I think if Pope gets called up, I think Pope and Pickford, and then you probably might get third choice. I don't know if he might say, you know what, Ramsdale, you're not involved. I'll bring Johnson as third choice. I don't know. I think Johnson's days ideally should be numbered. Exactly. Play the game. Don't let the game play you. I don't really rate Nick Pope. I think he's extremely overrated as well. But anyways, people, as you not know, Ramsdale's conceded 1 goal in his first 4 top flight appearances for Arsenal. And it's not sustainable because, again, he's not really up. We've picked up some clean sheets, but the goals conceded to the shots he's making, there's going to be more. That's going to level out. We have improved defensively, but, the clean sheets, I don't think he's going to be up there for Golden Glove because we haven't got one of the best defenses in the league, regardless of what stats might have said last season. Hopefully this young defense keeps improving, though. He said, I have the self-belief that, yes, I could hold down the position. First and foremost, I have to get into the team, and that's one of my first goals at the moment. I'm just trying to learn and to take step by step, but over time, that's one of my aspirations. And to be fair to you, Pickford had a good Euros, but I think the goalkeeper, as I said before, the goalkeeping position for England, it's not the days of Gordon Banks and Peter Shilton. That's an open spot. Pickford shouldn't be undoubted starter. He's not really that good. I don't really rate Pickford. I don't rate Pope. I like Ramsdale, but the question marks are still out. It seems like an open hit, people. He said, where have I missed something out? In relation to, I think, his old club, he said it was one of the first relegated clubs, Bournemouth, where he missed the bus for a League Cup tie at Chelsea, prompting him to admit that he needed to look at himself, and that incident was a catalyst for him to grow up. Fair play. I mean, I need to scroll down. I don't want to hear the tosh from Sky Sports, but he said, I don't think I realized yet how it has happened and the journey I've had. And he's obviously gone from a AFC Wimbledon loanee to obviously could potentially make his international debut. I definitely had a little snippet of that when Arsenal played Wimbledon the other week in the Cat Yarrow Cup, and I got to see my old goalie coach, who I still speak to, but I've not seen him for a long time. It brought back all the good memories of that period with Wimbledon and where I've come from. To be fair with you, maybe that made his adaptation period in London easier as well, that little stint at Wimbledon. He said the experience of being on loan, I spoke to Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall, and I think the major thing for me was well documented. I missed the bus one time by sleeping in. That's why I went on loan to Wimbledon. And you needed to grow up in it. He clearly needed to grow up, and it seems to have happened now. That's why he's being more serious now. That was the catalyst. And I went out on loan and proved my worth. And I got into the Bournemouth team a year later. Hopefully sooner rather than later, when everything calms down and I'm really settled at Arsenal, I might be able to think about my journey so far. Scrolling all the way down, David Seaman said to him, just be myself. We haven't worked with each other as such, but he came in to watch training and we had a general chit chat. I think I probably chewed his ear. I probably chewed his ear off about his career and about how my transfer to Arsenal was similar to when he joined. And if you don't remember, people didn't rate David Seaman before he came. And now look, I think he appreciates that he can give certain advice, but also that things have changed since he played. But hopefully further down the line, we can have more conversations with each other and build up a relationship in that way. And it would make sense. Despite costing Arsenal a fee that could rise to 30 million, Ramsdale admits he did not expect to get a run in the first team quite so soon. He said, it probably has been the best month I could have wished for. It's not something I expected so soon. I believe in my ability to get into the team, but I thought it would take a while transitioning into the way they play, new teammates getting into the team, helping them out. You could sense as soon as you walk through the doors that the club isn't happy where they are. We want European football. It's a young team, so step by step, it might have to be Europa League and then Premier League. Then Champions League, but we want to get back there. You understand the pressures that brings, but it's an enjoyable challenge. And when the highs are high, they're really high. And when the lows are low, they're extremely low. Arsenal's the king of kicking fans while they're down. We've been rushed. We're on the floor. You're kicking us and taking out our teeth. So the highs are really high, the lows are really low, but all in the season's worth as an Arsenal fan. Around the training ground, you see history, players that have played here with unique numbers as we have with England. You've got the Invincibles on the walls everywhere, so you understand the history of the club. It's now our time for us to put some new history on the wall, and that's true. And away from that, he's also spoken about other things. I think this kind of echoed a lot of things, but there were some comments about, I removed the screen. One sec, people. There were some comments he made about Leno. These are some interesting ones as well. Big up Ramsdale, because you can't knock him in it. We all like to see someone achieve something in life. But his original article in the in the Guardian, where he spoke about competition in terms of who plays in goal, he said, "I have that self-belief. Yes, I could hold down the position for England. First and foremost, I have to try and get into the team. We've already said that. His self-belief shines through. He says it is a product of his rejection by Bolton at 15. The only way to not get that feeling again was to believe in myself." He said, when I came in, I got told to be myself. My character is to be loud, be a leader, and show passion. I love it. You know me, I'm a passion merchant. I love hearing, I love him because he's already got the competencies. He's a lovely guy off the field, and probably he'd be an absolute pain in a positive way to be part of in defense. And if your keeper's not a pain, then you ain't got a 30 keeper. And I hope he can show he is one. He said to be loud, be a leader, and show passion. I also knew that I might have to shake things up in a positive way and my own way. I think it's well documented that they were missing leaders, but I don't think we've all turned into leaders all of a sudden. The team is playing well at the moment. It's just full of confidence and working well together. We're all leaders in our own way, and that's what you got to be. It doesn't matter if you're 17 or 35. Everyone can lead in their own sort of way. You can lead by example. You can lead the pack. You can lead by being reliable. You can lead by when times are going tough, standing up to be counted. And again, you need that. The bigger the pressure, the more I thrive. I love it because what I've always said, competence, consistency, and confidence. You need confidence. You need self-belief. You need belief to know you're never as good as when things go right. You're not as good as you think you are, which Ramsdale is getting all the praise. I'm pretty sure he's staying down to earth. When people were saying back-to-back relegations and all this, you're not as bad as people make out, even if you have a bad game. It is what it is. Mohammed, grow up here. You probably ain't got one. That's why your girl's cheating. Grown man, come on, fix up with the spamming. Anyways, people, moving on from Aaron Ramsdale. You can sense it as soon as you walk through the doors, blah, blah, blah. Where's the damn Leno comments? I saw them this morning. Like, fair enough, man. That was lit. Here it is, goalkeeper on replacing Leno and becoming a leader. Keep removing the screen. Apologies, people. Big up to Aaron Ramsdale there. We've already spoke about that. Where is the bit about? I think we're getting to it here, but just hit what he said here, people. On top of everything he said, that's what I've brought to the club to be myself. The fist bumps to the crowd again. The striker scores, Saka scores, and everyone runs to Saka, and I'm on my own. So my teammates become the fans. So I celebrate with them, and sometimes my celebrations look like I scored the goal myself. Never change. I love it, man. I don't think in England we see enough passion from the players. They're a bit like robots. That's just the pure emotion and hard work through the week to get the 3 points and get the win. So it all comes out, and I enjoy it. Make sure we're hitting the like button, and also check out the pin message. 4 p.m. I'll be streaming Football Manager. Everywhere I've gone, I've invested into the football club, and that's what you got to do. Think about it. If you go and get a new job, you've got to invest into the company culture. You know, really. If you want to see results and you want people to like you, that might mean going to after work drinks when you want to go home on a Friday. That might mean going to lunch with them when you want to be by yourself. That might mean when they want to go home on the train, not lying about I'm going that way just so you can bust out. You've got to. I know I'm saying all these things because I've done it. Everywhere I've gone, I've invested into the football club, whether it was 6 months on loan or I was at Bournemouth for 3 years. I did numerous away days when I was a Bournemouth player, when I wasn't in the squad, just to go and watch the team in the stands. I love it. When I'm at an individual football club, I then become a supporter, because if the team aren't doing well, then I'm not doing my job well, and the fans aren't happy. To make them happy, I need to play well. Then we all are happy as a collective. It's not just the players. It's one football club. Fair play. Going on, people, we all know he is vocal, and we've spent enough time speaking about that. It's helping them to make their job easier. I think it is well documented that they were missing leaders. We've spoken on that. He went on to say, if leaders come out in different ways, Smith Rowe and Saka are young lads, but they lead by example with their performances. You've got Xhaka, myself, Gabriel, Ben, who are vocal. And I've said, I think that's one thing I was surprised by Ben White, watching him in the preseason games. He was very vocal. Gabriel seems to not be shy, and neither does Xhaka, who are vocal. And you've got the captain, Aubameyang himself, who is our talisman, our go-to man. We're all leaders in our own way. Moving away, he said, I think the club has been in a difficult situation for a while. Obviously, the performances on the pitch haven't been great. The club have been in transitional period. And I think, Ramsdale could teach a lot to Arteta about how to speak to the fans. To be fair, Arteta's done well in that regard recently. But I mean, this is what you just want to hear, some just damn right realism. Other Arsenal players, a certain experienced player you've named there, a certain people you fight for the goalkeeping role. It seems a bit defeative, or it seems like they think they're doing a lot better than it is, or have a false sense of security. So yeah, I think this is one. Obviously, everyone wants to play. Everyone's got an ego, but you need to leave your ego to the door and do what you need to do for the collective, which I think Ramsdale does. And I think the bit I liked is how he spoke on Leno, because when Leno was speaking, the context is different. He didn't even name drop Ramsdale. He was almost acting a bit smug, like this guy, I'm above him in that. Ramsdale wasn't really on that. He said, I think Leno has done a great job. I think he has had a lot of stick for doing very little wrong. Every goalkeeper makes mistakes. Every person makes mistakes. But I think he has saved Arsenal in many, many times in many matches. True. I just think that the way the team is going with a certain style of play, I have been brought into... I just think the way that the way the team is going with a certain style of play, I have been brought in to replace him. And at the moment in time, I have. But that doesn't mean that it's my shirt for a long period of time. And that's it. You've got it. It's all fun and games when you're working to something. How do you keep it? Because the only way is down. Ideally, if Arsenal was in the way we want it to be, number one for Arsenal, every position should always be scrutinized. If you're the number 9 or number 14 or number 7 or number 10 or a centre half at this club, or number 1 in particular, your positions are always going to be under scrutiny, because 9 times out of 10, that's either the talisman or the spine of this team. So yeah, man, let's see what happens there, man. Bro, Leno's a spoiled kid, man. Leno's a spoiled kid. And it says everything. Leno's just a spoiled kid. Ramsdale, gets the vibe that he's had nothing handed to him. He's had to have an issue there. Leno speaks. Let me see if Leno... if I can actually find that. He didn't even name drop. He doesn't even name drop Ramsdale. And when he does, he draws him out, really and truly. Trying to find it, because there was some comments, but I guess He's gonna have to live. I'm scrolling all the way down. Is that here? And for what it's worth as well, folks, on that topic of Leno, it's only right. It's the perfect time to bring it up. Apparently, on the topic of Leno, apparently Leno could seek January transfer to avoid falling down the German pecking order, according to reports. And I mean, he needs to leave. He's spoken about, I want to look at my situation during the winter. You know, you want to play football. He's got a World Cup to think about with Germany. You want to go in the best possible condition. You want to play games. He's someone that's clearly wanted to leave for a while. So yeah, man. Apparently, Leno may be pushed to leave in order to safeguard his position in the German squad. The report states he's at risk of losing his place to Frankfurt's Kevin Trapp, who is impressed with his recent form. So obviously, Neuer, Trapp to Stegen. Someone's got to miss out. Really. No, good riddance, really and truly. I just hope we've got a backup goalie lined up already. At Arsenal, only number 2, is Leno threatened with the end of the DFB team? When Germany competes against Romania and North Macedonia in the coming days, Leno will be the third keeper in the DFB team, obviously behind ter Stegen and Neuer. Let's see what's going on, people. Leno stood between the posts 9 times in his career for Germany, but he was never able to prevail against the comrades in arms and colleagues of Manuel Neuer and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Without match practice in the club, the former Bayern Leverkusen man could now be completely out from the DFB team, like at Arsenal, where new signing Aaron Ramsdale was put in front of his nose. Scrolling all the way down, change of clubs is conceivable. Kevin Trapp could move up again at DFB. The Eintracht Frankfurt goalkeeper was not included in the current nomination, but showed several brilliant parades last Sunday and was an essential part of the 2-1 success against Bayern Munich. So, Kevin Trapp seems to be a media campaign-led one, a bit like Lingard playing well for West Ham. It seems to be like one where your form could force you into the door of things going on. So yeah, he needs to think about stuff really and truly. I don't think the club owes anything to Leno. I personally think he was gonna leave and we was gonna get a fee and maybe a backup keeper was gonna arrive, but something's changed. I don't give a flying monkeys about Leno's German aspirations. If I'm honest with you, from an Arsenal point of view, I just care about who's the best goalie. If he trains well and he gets his opportunity, I don't know, against Crystal Palace, then play. Then your German aspirations are for you. I don't really care if man want to play for England or Germany and you feel you're not playing enough football here. You need to go and move on and whatnot. So it's conceivable. What I do hope is that Arsenal have that backup goalie lined up for when this eventually happens, because we need one. I would have loved it to have been Matt Ryan, but again, the merry-go-round with the goalkeepers with Ramsdale didn't look likely at a time. Something clearly changed with Leno. Probably flipped that one on its head, people, really and truly. Leno to leave in Jan. So that's that timestamp. Leno knows he's not getting into that team regardless of playing time. Who are you kidding? Leno's a spoiled child who thinks he's better than he is. Time to cut our losses and sell him in Jan. To be fair to you, he's been a decent keeper. He just got this misplaced ego, like I think Xhaka has at times, because we reinforce mediocrity here. Man should just keep quiet and do his thing in the Qatari Cup. Hey, that's another thing. To be fair to Leno, there isn't too much football you can play, even if it is. Like Harry said when I was chatting to him, for me, I said it's probably the worst thing to be. It's the best time and worst time to be one of the young players at Arsenal, in that a lot of young players are getting chances, but it's not really the spring chickens that are fresh out of the academy womb sort of thing, and there's no Europa League. It's probably the worst time to be the backup goalie, because, yeah, you might get your Cat Yarabel. We're getting to the end of the year / beginning of 2022, so you've obviously got in question the FA Cup to come, but unless someone gets injured, God forbid, there isn't too many opportunities over the 38-game calendar. We need Guendouzi back when AFCON form hits. We're looking weak. I think we're moving on from Guendouzi. We need to probably just buy someone else, really. How much anyone want to bet Leno will leave in January on loan with an obligation? Hashtag Edu Masterclass. That could be something. You're hearing Barca are taking Sterling in that similar sort of fashion. Arteta could get us moving from 20th with an appalling goal difference, but then again, Potter is doing very good for Brighton. Ramsdale has the right attitude towards the club. Plus, he has a lot of ambition and passion, so it's easy to become identifiable with him. You just know Ramsdale gingers the team in the changing room. Mentality, monster, trust. DG knows about the office tricks. Trust, bro. Trust. There's a bit anti in the office. Only my last 2 roles before obviously doing this full time, I thought, you know what? Let's do it their way a bit, man. He seems like a really level-headed, grounded guy. Yeah, he appears it, and again, it's either great PR training or something. But yeah, man, I think you can't knock it at all. Really, it's commendable, as I said. All of England keepers are dead. I mean, not Ramsdale, but no one's 30. In football, I live game to game. What have you done for me lately? Faith in football don't mix for me since Wenger days. I mean, you're here all the time, so you can vouch for me. I don't think you do. I think you take it on a game by game basis, but then you consider factors that might be overriding. I'm talking about the fans where it, and I think it's a lot of Arsenal and United fans. If we win, we're the best team in the world. Gas up everything. You lose, madness. You win, madness. 6 games, 3 wins, 3 losses, and there'll be different sentiments. So I think you're a bit different there, man. In that regards, right? Arteta got man. Did Arteta get manager of the month? My gaffer, he's inevitable. Arteta's army. I'm shameless, man. But yeah, that's true. To be fair, we might as well make another timestamp of that. You know, Mikel Arteta's been one goal of the month, manager of the month. Cristiano Ronaldo won player of the month. Um, Arteta wins manager of month. And obviously, Tomiyasu won Arsenal's manager and player of the month. And Odegaard won goal of the month for the free kick. If I'm honest, there wasn't many competitors. If I'm honest with you, there was some good teamwork moves. Player of the month. Apologies. So yeah, Arteta seems to have won manager of the month. Quite a comeback, really. We was getting relegated in our first 3 games. It was all doom and gloom. And while I don't feel the narrative has shifted for me, anyways, I still think we're at where we're at. Like I still think we're in the middle ground. Still think there's question marks over Arteta's man and game management. Still think there's question marks over the players. Still think there's question marks over the tactics. I just, credit where due. You grab 2 clean sheets, 5 goals, 3 wins, giving you a lot of heat last month, and a month can change a lot of things, really and truly. Funniest thing. So fair play to Mikel Arteta for winning that. I can't begrudge it, people. Shout out to Mikel Arteta for such. Away from that, though, Tomiyasu is Arsenal's September player of the month. Didn't have the best of games against Brighton, but I think I can't speak for anyone, but what I like about Tomiyasu is just the competencies. A right back that knows he's a right back and relishes being a right back. Good 1v1, good in the air, needs to improve a bit going forward. Nerves of steel, but sometimes he looks a bit nervy and whatnot. Good signing, man. At 22 years of age, incredible to see where he could become. And I think he'll just be a calm, steady Eddie. Not everyone has to be an electrifying signing sort of thing. So well deserved for Tomiyasu. He's made a big impression. He won 51% of the votes. Ramsdale was second. Smith Rowe was third, which fair play. I think Ramsdale could feel a bit not disheartened. You lost to a worthy winner in Tomiyasu, and Smith Rowe's done very well. Arteta has said Tommy's so excited with the right self-assurance. And I mean, I think it's a culture thing. I think when you look at the Asian players and and in specifically where Tomiyasu is from Japan, there's a certain likableness in their culture in that you need to work hard. You can't just when you do things to the best of your ability, you want to improve. You want to be fully dedicated. You got that right healthy sense of self-assurance, and I would also say the humbleness to know that you can learn from anyone. Really and truly. And I think it's really commendable, really. I think, he's from South Korea, but again, Son reflects a lot of that at Spurs. So I think it's in Park Ji-sung as when upon the time at United. I think a lot of the Asian regions, they really reflect that. It's a very positive one, and one I wish, us over these sides would learn. But Mikel Arteta has said he's a joy. He's so excited. You can see that for him, it is a dream to be here, and he's doing it in the right manner, with the passion, but with the right commitment, and as well with the right amount of self-assurance that he is capable of doing it. I'm very impressed. He has done it in a really natural way. He puts a smile on your face when you look at him for how he communicates how he is. It's not been easy for him. We asked him to come in and play after 2 days against Norwich, and then he went to Burnley and then the North London derby. A lot has happened, and I'm happy with him. Facts. For me, the Premier League is the hardest to adapt to and the hardest to stay at the top. This is the challenge. Now he has shown the right qualities, the right mentality and personality to play for this club. And in this country, he has to maintain and keep improving. Facts, and more facts. And between Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, the re-emergence of Gabriel, people remembering what he's about. It is what it is. And all the propaganda is coming out now. As you see, Arteta won Premier League manager of the month, and we never do it alone. I'm not gonna lie though, people. with it being Black History Month and things, and I've said it before, as a fan, I don't know where I sit and I don't know how I feel because, all football is very diverse. But it's like when you start going up the levels, you see less and less. And I mean, this is a club that's had a lot of black players and whatnot. I mean, I didn't see too many black coaching staff where Wenger was concerned, where Emre's concerned, and with respect, I don't see that here. And I'm not saying I'm not making it that, but I don't see it there. And for me, it's quite a shame, really, because you look at the playing staff, you look at the fans, you look at half the Arsenal adverts that come out. It is quite upsetting. But I dream of a world where where a lot of these guys are concerned that there'll be these counterparts, but. Mikel Arteta might be receiving the award, but as I say, we don't lose. We win, lose, or draw together. We don't do it alone. So it's a reflection of the team, and everyone's a part of that team, down to the cafeteria people. We had a tough start to the season, and we're in neutral ground. We still ain't done nothing. We're broke. We've broken even. We had 3 terrible games. We've had 4 games that are all right. We're still in neutral territory. And for me personally, all that matters is what's going on in May. I don't care that we looked all right now, that we done whatever. We need to do something come May. I need to know that this team looks better than it looked in August or May of last year. It's down to you lot. After a tough start, the Spaniard helps bounce back in style as we saw off Norwich, Burnley, and then Tottenham in the North London derby and got a point away from home. He beat the likes of Pep, Klopp, Potter, and Dean Smith for the awards. And I mean, he's beaten Pep and Klopp in football matches. Graham Potter the same, let's not forget. So yeah, shout out to him. What has Mikel Arteta said himself? He said the squad is in a really good place. The squad is in a really good place. Obviously, the window's closed. We knew the summer that we had done a lot of transfers and, pardon me, things we wanted to do in the summer. I think we have to be really happy and positive about what we have. The challenge now is to keep everybody on board together, fulfilling the role that each of us has to do in every moment. And throughout the season, that is different. Sometimes it is a very leading and front role. Other times it's a supportive role. We don't have European games. For me, the key is to keep the unity of the squad together and players feeling valued at times. And you're never going to keep, that's the impossible task. No manager can keep all players happy. As you've seen, Leno's not happy. Ainsley weren't happy before. Other Balogun probably wants to go on loan. Not that he's in a position to demand anything, really and truly. What's he done in the game? But yeah. So that's what he said. He needs to keep the unity and all of those sort of things on the squad. He said, I get the award, but it's for those behind it. And it's true, because we don't see what they're doing on the training ground. He said, I think this award represents the way everyone has been together, has been working, and has been positive in difficult moments and continue to do their work with the right mentality, the right ambition, and with the right work and direction. So it's for them. I get the award, but it's for all the people behind it. Facts. And he said, first of all, I had to transmit my belief in the players, my belief in every department and every person that is at this club, that they're doing the right things. Reflect, change, and tweak things that we can maybe do better as well. Be critical with ourselves and then have a positive picture in front of them. They have to accept reality and we have to accept the reality at the time, and we had to be willing to change it. When you find that inner force to do it, normally things have to come out somehow. Fair play, you're saying all the right things, but that's what Mikel Arteta has said. Congratulations to Mikel Arteta on winning the Premier League Manager of the Month. Congratulations to, obviously, Tomiyasu for winning Arsenal's Player of the Month. Congrats to Odegaard for winning Goal of the Month for his free kick against Burnley, folks. So it is what it is where that's concerned. Away from that, though, people, apparently Matteo Guendouzi, I haven't read it, but Guendouzi, who, could still make his debut for France, didn't get off the bench yesterday. Don't even know if he was on the bench. He also got to captain Marseille in their last game where they lost against Lille, if I remember correctly. So there must be, for every, I think, it's like for every 10 things about Guendouzi, there's 5 cases to negatively highlight his leadership qualities and 5 ones that positively highlight him. I mean, you do not captain Marseille, a big club like Marseille, being there for 2 seconds under Sao Paulo or get called up to France. Again, it's been a couple of times if there's something wrong with your attitude, but we cannot sit there and lie. The same logic, there was comments about, his teammates at Marseille. There was, football puberty. He needs to go through puberty. I think the Hertha Berlin gaffer said there was obviously incidences of his last club at Lorient, and obviously, there was many incidences at Arsenal. So it is what it is. I've said it before. Guendouzi is going to have a good career. He's going to play for France at some. I don't know how many caps, but he's going to get capped for France. He's going to have a play for decent European teams. But I think if he doesn't somewhat change and balance the yin and the yang, the evil, the necessary evil that you need, and keeps Guendouzi same that dark arts, that edge, and obviously the good positives, and marry it. I think he's going to have a career like Ben Arthur and these guys where you'll float around, but you never really truly hit your potential. And I genuinely think Matteo has potential to be a serious guy. It's done at Arsenal already. What I think, provided all variables are hit, I think Marseille could sign him for 9 million. Now, arguably, is he worth more than £9 million? I would say yes, considering if he was to return in the summer, he'd have a year left. But he's been called up for France. He's having a decent campaign for Marseille. He's not setting the world alight. I would say Marseille are already going to make a profit on such people. But apparently he's taken a swipe at Arsenal. I don't know when, I don't know how, but apparently he has. And where is the article with Matteo? Ooh, we're in trouble here, aren't we? Here it is. Right on time. I was getting shook. Let me share my screen. Stop waffling. Matteo Guendouzi has fired a subtle dig at Arsenal ahead of his national team debut, which he didn't quite make. Sorry, mate. Don't need that. Guendouzi has taken a jab at former club Arsenal, suggesting he didn't feel love at the Emirates Stadium. You might not have. I mean, the article could be capping. I haven't read it, but Guendouzi, don't sit here and lie. Like, the fans loved you. The fans gassed you. Certain fans took it over the top and put you on a position you're not, and act like Arsenal were. I'm not going to say we're right to sell him, but we're not necessarily wrong for getting rid of him. It's somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't say he didn't feel the love, because if there was anything, Arsenal fans loved you for being a passion merchant. See, the same way Ramsdale was doing 1-2. Ramsdale riz his fists at the fans for the first time, and they're already foaming at the mouth. So don't talk nonsense, really and truly, I backed you over Van Aanholt. I might have to be Team Van Aanholt, really and truly. Scrolling all the way down, people. Apparently, before coming to Marseille, I had many options. Talking to the president and the coach is what convinced me. I immediately said I want Marseille. First of all, Marseille is the biggest club in France. I mean, considering you was at PSG and Lorient, I think you're just going to say whatever people are saying. The club has won the Champions League. It has a great history. It has the most foreign support in the country, and it is a good fit, Marseille, you're seeing Guendouzi back the beef when Marseille got a game suspended. It is a perfect fit. Marseille have passionate fans. Guendouzi's there, and I'm happy to see him. I'm a big fan of Guendouzi. All of these aspects made my choice clearer. I like to play in a full stadium when I'm at home. I mean, that's probably a dig at Arsenal, in it, full stadium, and definitely not the noises. I like feeling the support is true love for the club. That's what I found here. I haven't been this happy since the start of my career. I mean, you're capping a bit. You're probably happy at Arsenal, but fair play if that's what you say. And I think he'll say comments like that again, really and truly. I want to write a story with the French team. It's great to be here in the first place. I'm very happy, but I want to get as many caps as possible to bring something to this team and stay over the long term. I've accumulated a lot of games with the youth teams and was notably captain, again highlighting his qualities. I have a very good relationship with the French team in general. It's really a source of pride to be here. The 2022 World Cup is an objective. It's in my head. My turn will come through hard work. I am confident. And if he does get called up immediately, he goes from being what Arsenal rated him as a £9 million player to maybe a £30 million player. Let's see what happens there. But good luck to Guendouzi. Hopefully he can do his thing. Away from Matteo, people, apparently, we've been linked with this guy for about 10 years. Arsenal considering shock transfer move for Iranian Messi, Sadr Azmoun, with Zenit star seen as Lacazette replacement. Everyone and their nan's a Lacazette replacement. Arsenal have identified the striker as a potential Lacazette replacement, according to reports. Lacazette is wanted by a host of clubs, according to The Sun, The Scum, The Shite, and Atletico Madrid has been name dropped as well. We know his contract is expiring. Apparently, this guy is on Arsenal's list to replace the Frenchman. He was in impressive form last season, to be fair. 19 goals in 29 appearances isn't bad at all. Apparently, his form has alerted clubs from across the continent, including our rivals Tottenham Hotspur. AC Milan are interested in him as well. Apparently, he declared he had offers from clubs in England, France, and Germany, and Italy in the summer. So he's probably using Arsenal and a lot of things to tap up interest, people. He said, I had offers from Tottenham, Lyon, Bayern Leverkusen, and Roma, and Zenit refused them. If I leave, I will do it next summer as a free agent. And I mean, Belotti's a free agent as well in the summer. So I'm counting down the days until I'm sitting here and talking about he's been linked with Arsenal. He said, I have a contract. Even if I wanted to leave Zenit, they can stop me and there's nothing I can do. So seems like he's hell-bent on leaving. And that's where Arsenal have been thrown into this. It could, he could be good, but I don't know. But Iranian Messi, I don't know for none of that. I'm very wary of next Messi comments and all these things. Iranian Messi links. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards. That's Matteo Guendouzi done. Please make sure we're hitting the like button and we're setting our reminders for later, people, on Twitch. That is 110 likes, 237 of you locked in. So people are doing this thing dirty, people. If you haven't hit the like button, unexpected high bills are due for you, folks. One love to everybody tuned in. There are other players of Guendouzi's ability and passion who come minus the drama and negative chemistry issues. Hopefully, he'll mature under proper coaching and peer correction. I think it's one where he needs to do it, man. It's Cap. He said, I haven't enjoyed football this much since the start of my career or something like that. Been happy. I wouldn't mind him back, but I mean, he's someone that's, I'm not gonna lie. I think he's wavy. I think he should be here. I think he should play. But Guendouzi's not a player. Like, I feel one thing with Arsenal, there's a lot of talking about players that are not worth that. Like, I think the world of Guendouzi. Like, I'm vexed that he's left, as you lot have seen. But listen, we've got bigger problems. And if you're not Lionel Messi, Thierry Henry, and that it's gone in it, he might become a player. He might return to the Prem. We say, what's going on? But it is what it is. I would have loved him to stay. Personally, I think he just needed a clip around the ears, said, shut up, calm it down, and we would have went with that. But it is what it is. I mean, I think Guendouzi doesn't need anything. I think, I don't know Guendouzi's life. Sorry, folks. My sweets were staring me. But as I was saying, I don't know Guendouzi's life, but I mean, I wasn't a footballer, but I can't lie, I see a bit of myself in him based on the language, the behavior problems, all of these things. Now, if I look back in my life, am I going to think there hasn't been people, whether they've been a father figure or not, or a senior figure, or actually a male or female, or someone that's tried to pull me to the side and say, maybe you shouldn't do this or do this and that? Bro, man's 20 odd. He's a father now himself. I hear you. But I think it's one of them where the penny needs to drop for Matteo Guendouzi himself. There's a journey that he needs to go, and like, people have probably tried to help him enough times. You heard he's had behavior problems down to when he was in PSG's academy as a little youth. So, boy, he didn't win it overall. Once again, Arsenal's player of the month where Odegaard's goal is concerned. Question, DG. Wilshere is seeking his coaching badges. Are you aware of any program in the Premier League or at Arsenal specifically that encourages black players to enter into the coaching after playing? Not specifically, but you can get grants. That's as good as it gets. He's Japanese. I think everyone's aware, TM, that Tomiyasu's Japanese. But DG, bless up. What do you think of the Newcastle situation? I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I've offered my opinions on. I offered it on Twitch today. I offered it yesterday. Check out the last live streams. I've posted the timestamp from when I last spoke about them today. I'm tired of speaking about Newcastle. Now it's got nothing to do with me. Did I see the French game? 100%, I did, and I'm gonna re-upload the watch along after this as well, because some of you will always get on to me about that. Always remember to hit the like button. Appreciate that, chef. 4 p.m. Twitch, right? Yep. Like the Nightbot said, don't forget to like and subscribe. What else we doing? I think I've scrolled too far. Drat damage is done. Too much chatting, bro. Too much chatting. Appreciate that, Joe. I did. But boy, man, again, there's just too much chatting about Guendouzi, Joe Willock. These guys might be good players, but they might take Lacazette. I can't be losing sleep over these players. Like, they're meaty, if you're honest with yourselves. Like, really. Like, I rate them all, but they're meaty, man. Why would Marseille make him captain if he's actually had drama and chemistry issues? It makes no sense. The reports are cap. And to be fair, I'm not comparing him to Vieira, but do we not think Vieira pissed off his teammates and whatnot? I like it with Guendouzi. He's not here to make friends. And I don't think the reports are necessarily cap. I do think they're overstated. I don't think there's in between. I just think when we look at Matteo, his greatest gift is probably, away from his technical ability, is his curse. If he could just find balance, really. And like I said, for every 5 negative ones about his leadership, there's about 5 ones that show his good leadership. So there is a method to his madness, but you've just got to rein it in a bit. But no one's perfect. We've all had had things in our personal life that people might say that we can improve and whatnot. So it will happen, man. But to be fair, if you take that out of your game, away from the obvious, I'm not talking about the off-field stuff. If you take that away from your game, how much of Guendouzi do you lose? Certain players, you take that edge and that aggression out of them and the dark hearts and whatnot. You take it out of them, you know. Luis Suarez, fantastic ability, probably could play, but if Suarez didn't come with the tricks that he comes with, not his skills, his skill thingies, there's issues, man. Fair play, he does seem to care. I mean, it's a slow news day where Arsenal's concerned. And where's the bullshit rumours, man, that could fill me with joy? When are we going to get linked with some centre mids and that? To be fair, thingy, Coutinho's been thingy, man, linked with Newcastle. And he's again been linked with Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham. And I'm still seeing these reports about Serge Aurier said he would never join enemy Arsenal due to respect for Spurs. I mean, who asked for you, bro? Who asked for you? Who said we're trying to sign you? Mug. Don't you think Saka needs some rest? Probably not at this moment in time. It's a big mistake to let him go. I mean, Guendouzi's going to go on and have a good career, and we're going to say what's if. But I mean, it's happened, innit? I don't think it's something to keep waffling about and whatnot. Shout out to Arteta for winning Manager of the Month, though, man. I mean, I just see something floated online, people. When you look at what the Saudi group investment fund that's got into Newcastle own people, they've got funds in everything. You know, Bank of America, Berkshire Hathaway, which I'm sure is Buffett's investment group, Boeing, Bookings Holdings, BP, Cisco, which is obviously a network, Disney, Facebook, IBM, Live Nation, Pivitsa, the pharmaceuticals, Royal Dutch Shell, Starbucks, Uber. Boy, it's mad. Bro, Aurier is some false sense of security, bro. Like I said in the last stream when I mentioned that, it's like me never ever having a chance with Beyonce, and I'm saying out of respect for Kelly Rowland, I'm not trying it. Like, come on now, what's going on there? It's not making an ounce of sense, is it? Really and truly. Of course, I prefer the further I can go back in my love for football and go younger, the more nostalgic it is. Really. Did you see the Qatari tweet about Arsenal? Yeah, I spoke about it, and it's just riling up the Arsenal fans. Until somebody says Qatarians have put money on the table, when it comes from that particular Twitter account, I'm just going to ignore it. When it comes to Arsenal, it seems like there's a bit of capping, man. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Daniel X, the only person I've seen allegedly put an offer through for the club. I haven't seen nothing else elsewhere, if I'm honest with you. You know, Dangote did a lot of chatting. Thoughts on Noah Lang, a good player. Again, someone that I've spoken about a lot. Good player with a lot of potential, like his technical level. Got a bit of the X factor. Bit of attitude issues, but he's calm, man. That's what I would say, if I'm honest with you. Where else is there? Is there anything other things Arsenal related? Let me see what the other one last round. Most impressive thing's been Ramsdale really today. Boy, must be nice, man. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Must be nice, man. Obviously, it's what you do with the money, but richest owners in football: Newcastle, PSG, Man City, Leipzig, Salzburg are fifth, Juventus are sixth, Chelsea are seventh, LA Galaxy are eighth, ninth place, Arsenal behind 10th, Inter Milan. And apparently, the same people who just bought Newcastle want to buy Inter Milan, so you're going to probably see Inter Milan bumped up into joint first/second. What's the latest on the Ollie Watkins situation? What do you mean? I don't think there is anything really. We've been linked with him. There's nothing beyond that. How much to make Kroenke sell up? You think? I'd say 6 billion to start the convo, but closer to 8 billion realistically. Nah, I think he'll do it for double what Arsenal's worth. What's Arsenal's worth? 2 billion or something? I think he'll do it for double, which again is what I'm going to, Daniel Eck. At some point, you being a businessman, as much as you're an Arsenal fan and whatnot, there's a worth of a business, and do you think it's worth that? So, and again, to get Arsenal, you probably have to pay more than it's worth, similar to Newcastle at the time. Waste of money, bro. I live in Newcastle, but I've supported Arsenal since I was 8, and now the one thing left was Arsenal beating Newcastle, and that's been taken. Callum, boy, nothing lasts forever, bro. Skis peak. I don't like the way the league's going. I mean, wake up and smell the coffee, bro. The league's gone this way. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't mind it because everyone might as well have a chance in it. Bro, six a billion. Man said 6 billion, do you know how much that is? And he has to rise up the consortium. To be fair, could be a thing, but I think double should be enough. But then again, Kroenke is greedy, and you never know, man. I'm not going to say he's been bidded what he thinks Arsenal's worth, but Usmanov was prepared to pay almost anything, it seemed, and he said no. So, boy, it's an issue. Bitcoin hitting 100K is inevitable. Can we just move past 56 properly? It's mad. Watch League 2 and non-league become surprisingly very popular. They already have, but at the same time, even non-league is not reflecting football now. And non-league clubs aren't necessarily helped, but the prices to even go and watch some non-league games and whatnot, it's getting ridiculous. Football is the wild, wild west and has been. Saudis are worth $32 billion, 12 times more than City owners. Igor, peas. Boy, again, if Newcastle hit it off, no one can stop them. And it is what it is, man. Everyone might as well do this, man. It's absolutely crazy, man. France avoided defeat after conceding the opening goal for the 6th time. Apparently, they haven't lost when Benzema scored in recent games. Crazy. Respect it. What else is there? What else have you lot got to say, folks? Doesn't seem like there's anything else. For me as well, I would say where Arsenal are concerned, folks, one thing I'd like Arsenal to get a move on with is our contract situations, like what we're doing with contracts. Now, I hope the club are. 2024 is going to be a crazy year because I think, there's no rush, but you need to give Saka a new deal, and there's a couple of other players. I'm not going to talk about the 2021 contracts. It goes without saying we shouldn't be in this position with Eddie and Nketiah, Lacazette, El Nene, Kolasinac, all of these guys, for Kolasinac, should have never put him on the wages. For Lacazette, probably, maybe shouldn't have bought him in hindsight. El Nene should have been moved on a long time ago. Eddie and Nketiah should have made a decision a long time ago. We have to own these mistakes, innit? It is what it is. We have to own these mistakes. But I do want us to get things right now. Guendouzi's got a loan with an obligation to buy. Mavropanos has a loan that can become an obligation, that can turn into an option. So for me, they're more or less gone. But then you look at someone like Maitland-Niles, who played a lot of times in midfield this season. A lot's an exaggeration, but played a fair amount of times in midfield this season so far. Is a bit part player, really. It's better than what he was getting. God forbid an injury to Tomiyasu could see him get an extended run at right back. But is he... is this it? You've got to deal with him. And then obviously you've got the boys out on loan, which scare me more in that I'm seeing Bellerin make mistakes. I'm not seeing him undoubtedly be the first choice at Betis. And the same goes, well, not the same, but he's on loan in Torreira. I hope they have great loan spells in their time, because they're going to come back with a year left, not know what's going to happen. Are we going to have to keep them in and among the squad next season? So I hope we know what we're doing with them sort of players there as well. So I really hope there's foresight now. Stop getting into the last 6 months and then going, oh, what we doing with this guy? What we doing with that guy? What we doing with the third? Pardon me. We should all be knowing, like, you look at someone like Pepe, he's contracted until 2024. What are we doing there? to be fair with Holding, we should be able to get a decent fee for Holding because he's contracted until 2024. How you've got into that business where Cedric and Marie are two bit part players who I just completely forgot Cedric was here and Marie. This is the problems we're in. We need to stop doing things like that, folks. And then when I look at 2023, to be fair to you, it's only Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You have got Bellerin on loan, Torreira on loan. You've got Aubameyang who's probably just going to run down this deal. You've got Leno who we know needs to be moved on. An option to buy, that's what he had last year. If it's not an obligation, it's tired because these guys are going to, if they don't have standout seasons, they're going to come back and then next summer they're going to be sitting on their hands like last season. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. So it's keen to see. I just hope Arsenal get a move on and we know what we're doing, man. You know if you want to give Ainsley Maitland-Niles a contract or not, and the rest of them, like you knew for a while Leno was gonna be moved on or wants to move on or whatever. And again, we just hold our L. I'll hold our L for 2022. It is what it is, but just stop making these same mistakes if it makes sense, people. Again, learn from your mistakes and just simply do better. It's not hard, in my opinion. Sorry, folks. What's the timestamp? This was Kalam. A man put 2023 as a timestamp. And then that one. There we have it. Love organization, me. There's about to be a massive clear out at Newcastle. The only ones who will stay are probably St. Maximin, Willock, and Wilson. Probably could get clipped as well, man. People hate on other teams being taken over whilst wanting new owners themselves. Jealousy/envy isn't good for the soul, people. So boy, have a blessed day, DG. Smashing YouTube. Keep it up, bro. I appreciate that. Make sure you're over here on Twitch at 4 p.m. people. Qatari did say on Twitter that he's looking to bid in the next 6-7 months or around that time. So let's see. But I don't, but for now, I'll hold my hands up. But for now, I think he's capping. I think he's chatting. I think he knows that, Arsenal, because of where Arsenal are and the fan base, you can have Arsenal fans on strings on social media very quickly. We're gullible and we're waiting for any bit of positivity. It's not really hard to impress Arsenal, Arsenal fans, really. Leno, Chambers, Bellerin, Torreira, and Ketia, Kolasinac, El Nene will all be gone at the end of the season. Hopefully, because then it clears the deck. And for me, definitely where the majority of them names are concerned, earning decent wages. Now, I don't care what a man is earning, but those wages could be used to fund other things or just be used in proper ways, really, especially Kolasinac. Kolasinac's agent played a blinder when he signed for Arsenal. 100 bags a week. Madness. We still haven't replaced Santi. No, we haven't, and we're gonna pay until that midfield is properly addressed. We're gonna learn the hard way time and time again. What's the most likely signing then coming in for January? I don't have a clue, man. You'd have to talk to the transfer team. I don't know for specifics. I hope it's a centre mid or two because if with everyone fit, I wanted a centre mid. With obviously if something happens to Partey, Xhaka being out for 3 months, I don't know if he suffers a setback. People are going off to AFCON. This club has to sign a midfielder in January. I know we're only playing once a week, but yeah, man. Bro, agents can do bits for you, man. That's why you see some good players at shit teams or their careers are stagnant because the agent can't do nothing for them. Sometimes the agent can make or break things. Big up Nightbot. Don't miss my Football Manager stream on Twitch at 4 p.m. I miss Rosicky and Santi combo. Maybe Odegaard and a new boy could do it. I just want a new midfielder. I want a number 8, man. Is it so hard to ask? Maybe 2. I know my chest is high, but maybe 2 number 8s. That's all I want. I don't want much. That's all I want. Just ballers in midfield, people that can hold on to the ball, people that want to play in behind, just things like that, man. We'll have to see, man. Just trying to desperately see if there's anything Arsenal related online for you lot. Nope. We're Kushti. They're even international football today. really boring right now to be an Arsenal fan, boy. It is, but at least we're in a healthier state at this moment in time, which I can't complain about at all. I'll take it where it comes, man. You streaming any of the international games today? Nah. Qualifiers are run. Drop a cheeky bid for Ferran Torres. That one there is gone. Yeah, to be fair, some Qatari man said they will try and bid towards the end of the season. Not right now. Boy, let's see in it. I'll hold my hands up and say we're wrong. I'm wrong, better yet. Yeah, man. Do we have any youth players that have techers? Yeah, we've got plenty of techered players. I mean, you can't be at Arsenal. Well, to be fair, I've seen some fucking shit players, but you can't technically be here if you can't play with tech. So yeah, man, talk about them enough. Get Basuma in. No, not them man there after what's going on. Clear your name and then we can chat. We should try get Ricker Peak. Fair enough. Qatar's never coming for us. Adam is not here for none of it. No optimism at all. Fair play. It's one of them wait and seeing it, like, rather than arouse my imagination and ponder them potentially signing for us, there's going to be issues. Choupo-Moting has the best agent in football, went from relegated Stoke to PSG and Bayern Munich. See, exactly, don't hate the player, hate the game, bro, is what I would say. He's doing his thing. Credit where due. Fair play. It's a mazzo. I don't know if Basuma, I don't know if what Basuma, who is Basuma? I don't know, bro. Big man thing, like, clear your name first, bro. Can't have them youths at the team doing the mazza. What role do you think is best for Charlie Patton? Or right now, it'd probably be better to play further forward, but I think he's a deep line playmaker for me. I know he can do the 10 role, but for me, he's a 8, man. Hidden gems may be available in Portuguese Liga. Go find them, man. For a while, we was looking for a centre half. Somehow, I'm seeing Ruben Dias pop up. Do you think Newcastle can bring in top quality players with the money they have now, or is their football team not good enough to attract the top players? I think they can definitely bring in one. Your harsh DG concerning Basuma, man is innocent until proven guilty. Earl Lewis, as I just said, clear your name first. I didn't say you're guilty. I didn't condemn him, but what I do know is, yeah, you're right, innocent till proven guilty. But what I do know is when it comes to rape or sexual assault victims, the numbers are going against them. They're already, especially where this country is condemned, there's already this, and especially where footballers are involved, there's already this, let's try and prove that they're lying, they're money grabbing, they're doing this and that. So listen, if he's innocent, things will happen in it. So I didn't condemn him or not. Earl, you're projecting or you're hearing what you want to hear. Clear your name first. I don't want them man there. Clear your name first. It's like Mendy. If you bust case, clear your name. People give you agendas. Away, clear your name. I don't know about any of that because I do know in this country a lot of people. Even do you know how many people Basuma could walk free? And he's not actually innocent. He's actually guilty, and the other person could have whatever happened. These are the things that happen in this country. So yeah, you can give him the benefit of the doubt, quote unquote, innocent until proven guilty. But also, there's a victim in all of this. So when it comes out, isn't it? But yeah, man, I don't think you can ever be too harsh on an alleged rape victim or sexual assault victim. I mean, perpetrator, and credit to the victim. I don't know about anyone, Everyone says fuck the police and all these things, and when it comes to touching up, doing things you're not supposed to, innocent until proven guilty. He's got money. Throw money at your lawyer. What's ever been done in the dark, let it come to light. He's on bail. If there is lying going on, throw the book at the liar because these things destroy lives. Sticky situation, man. All I said was clear your name first. I don't want a man with this over your name, and Arsenal not going to sign him anyways. If that makes me harsh, so fucking be it. Rather be that than an apologist, a sexual assault apologist. I feel like, what's gone there? All right, calm down, man. I appreciate you for subscribing, but chill out, man. You're spamming us the thing, man. Chill, it's Friday, bro. Patience is running thin. And it's true, bro. We're digressing, but it's true. The wickedest thing is once that's thrown on your name, it's peak. It's peak. Even if you're innocent, it's peak. And cue the jokes about Premier League, prison five-a-side teams. You lot are scummy, man. There's just certain things not to joke about. Where else is there? Apparently, Mikel Arteta won manager of the month. The last manager of the month for us was Wenger in October 2015. Bloody hell, Emery didn't win one of them. Well, fair enough. I didn't know that though. Fucking hell. What's this? A mad thing going on. What's all this? This is a crazy story, isn't it, people? Let me see this. You know, this is a mad sort of story. Oh, don't do drugs. Embarrassment for Roma starlet as friend warns Mourinho they will do cocaine. What the fuck? What the hell? Roma starlet Nikola Zalewski, who's actually a decent little player, appears in a video that has gone viral on social media and shows him with a friend who seems to suggest they will do cocaine. Will we snort it? Understand Jose Mourinho? Apparently, his friend's an Italian trap rapper who was quite popular in Rome. He said, I will tell you the truth. Tonight, this friend will snort. Mourinho, tonight we snort. We are doing it. Apparently, the video only lasted a few seconds. Wait. I don't want to play this because this is when it's gonna, they're gonna start telling me copyright laws. But I'll copy and paste this in the comments for you lot. But fuck blood. People are moving mad. I'm seeing them. Someone in Brazil, one Brazilian player tried to, been nicked for attempted murder of a referee or trying to bang on him after the result. And now this football is moving mad, absolutely mad. Them man there, bro. Them man there sniffing the boy. Shout out to you lot with the powder and that. You lot are moving brazy, absolutely brazy. That's a bit harsh when you think about it. Didn't Emre get manager of the month? And that's what I'm saying. Surely. That's what I'm saying. Surely Emre's got that. So they might be capping with that. Emre, manager of the month. I'm sure he won one. I'm sure I've seen him with his long hair, manager of the month. I could be capping. He's been nominated in September 2018. I can see. Is there a way to see manager of the month awards? Is there a way to see everyone who's won something like that? And to be fair, I'm kind of scared for Arteta because didn't Nuno win it in August, and now Arteta's got it. Sorry, and look what happened to Spurs after winning that. So, could it be a Buki one that something's gonna happen? I don't know, man. It's crazy. Man said Mewtwo vibes. Football's definitely a reflection of society, and boy, what I'd say is definitely worse in the workplace, man. I remember the second before last job, there was a party in it, people at work. I've walked in to the toilet to pee because obviously drinking when I go to the toilet. I've heard and I've looked at this, my manager. I've said to my manager from that day, that was when it's the coolest. Like, you can never get onto me again. Never ever get onto me after I've gone and you're trying to chat to me like it's cool. You even try to offer me some. Now, shout out you for trying to share, but no. That's all you. You lot do your thing. Almost. Do you know how many times I've seen? Oh, but the first time I saw that, I was 16 at a Spurs game. Was I 16? Yeah, 16, 15. Well, you wouldn't be 15. 16, 17 in a professional environment or a play, being exposed to the football culture like that. I've seen it in normal walks of society. Sad to say, but from a young age, walking home from primary, you're seeing people with crack pipes and needles and that. Like, it's quite mad. Hope it was hay fever, bro. Like, bro, you shout out to them man for trying to share, but you got mad, bro. Like, you got mad. You can't even trust you no more. You can't even buy man a juice again, really. Crazy, man. Shout out to them. In fact, it's more offensive when someone just randomly asks this, can you get that? Like, who told you I'm a drug dealer? Like, who told you? I know I got a hoodie on. I know the obvious, but who told you? Fuck Fed, but say I'm a Fed. Like, it's moving bad. Yeah, he probably was just trying to smoke shit. You don't do them, man. There, you don't do them things there, see, man. You don't do them things there, mate. I wanted to throw the green in that. then maybe something could have happened, I don't mind a cheeky singing that. But you get me? It's a bit mad. But I digress, people, man. Exactly. One of them sort of things. But anyways, last question. Do you think deploying Ainsley Maitland-Niles in the 3-5-2 would be better as Lacazette and Aubameyang can play as strikers together? I do think a 3-5-2 could have worked against Brighton. I guess it is an option. I guess it is what it is. Personally, I want to move away from Lacazette and Aubameyang being ingrained in the team together, because I think at this moment in time it destabilizes our team, and at best these lot are not going to be here long enough. So let's actually think of a system that can last without them, and if anything, their experience can help enhance it. But that's all I've got to say, man. So yeah, on that note, please make sure you're hitting the like button. I hope you will join me obviously later today for Football Manager, where a real manager does it. I win titles. I don't get Manager of the Month awards. I'm saying that I ain't won nothing as a manager yet in our Football Manager stream, but you get the point, people. It is what it is. So yeah, man, on that topic, it's been a pleasure being here. Check out the DG podcast. It's out on Spotify, Apple, and the rest of it. Join me on Twitch. You can actually, if you're following and /subscribing on Twitch, either one of the two, you can see the live stream I did earlier today, and so on and so forth. Gonna re-upload the watch along from yesterday as well, because some of you have been getting on to me in the comments. But yeah, man, I'm going to love and leave you lot, really and truly. There's nothing more to say in that, man. So yeah, stay blessed. Hope you've all had a good week. Hope you're all enjoying your Friday, and we'll buck up again.
So it's always just that active and defending. I think it's like